break area, move box and pumps from bulkhead and paving materials, $1,200. Brings a total bill of $7,605.
Well,
This is a quote, this is what we're.
This is work that's been completed that they're asking us to pay for.
I kind of wish that North Point had really been a little more patient so that we could have done this a little bit better way, but I understand some of their impatience, but I do feel like we do owe this money, and it was installed years ago off their property, and it is utilized by one of the town roads. So I'm going to make a motion that we do pay this $7,605.35 bill to North Point.
Say, I give them a medal for being as patient as they have been with us, with the town. I don't think they're impatient at all. They've been, I mean, how long has this been going on?
Quite a while. Quite a
Every
while.
5 years.
It's been going up many times, and
I mean, eventually you get to a point where it's either lose your property, have your property cave in, or you do something about it yourself.
all right, so there's a motion on the floor by Bush to in turn reimburse North Point Marina for services performed in the amount of $7,605.35 to replace a pipe that in turn runs across their property that collects the water from all over the street.
Where's the money?
Have to take it out of the streets department. Where it comes from.
So, I mean, like, what is the policy for an instance like this? And this is where a business, private citizen went out and has done work on their property, and it could be that the town pipe was part of the town's infrastructure. But what is the policy about an individual doing such as North Point has done? They went out and fixed the problem without any prior approval from the town, and now we're getting the bill. So, I mean, we're not setting a precedent here in the future where any citizen can go out and get work done on the property and just hand the town a bill. That's basically what we're doing. Not to say that this work wasn't needed or, you know, I mean, it was on the table for a while, and I'm glad that they feel that the problem has been fixed or repaired, but you know, how are we going to address the fact that this was a business that's went out and done this work, and now they're just handing the town a bill without any approval?
I think the way we address it is we learn a lesson from it and not put off 3, 4, 5 years down the road when somebody comes to us and tells us there's a problem with the town.
But that
and
doesn't,
we
that
ignore
doesn't
it and
excuse
ignore
the
it and
action.
ignore it and
That
ignore
doesn't
it.
excuse the action.
Brian, if my house was ready to cave in, I would have done the daggone same thing to fix my house so I would not have to have my house cave in on me. And as long as this thing's been put off,
Susan, I would just say one thing, I'm not in any discussion, is you ought to go ahead and view it before you vote on it.
And that's exactly where I'm going to stand. I mean, I'd like to go down and talk to the owner, because 21.19 tons of 3/4 stone.
Ron, didn't you already go down there with Michael Ward last year? You've got engineering proposals. You had a cost of $30,000 that you had submitted to us last year. I mean,
Peter.
excuse me, Peter. I mean, last year, you took this on, and the very questions you're asking, I would hope that you would have some of that information for yourself.
That's fine, but we never gave an approval to have this work done.
And that's where it's up. Look, they're sending in the letter.
I know, that's why I'm
I
asking,
mean,
what is the
I-
policy regarding that procedure?
Ronnie, could you help answer that question for Ronnie?
Well, I will say this, I think it is part of our drainage system, and I understand that, I really understand what Ronnie's saying, it wasn't a town project that we undertook, but it is part of our drainage system. I think we had an issue with Miss Hubbard one time over the drainage issue. As tough as it is to fight, it might be, I don't, I'm not, I agree with Dr. consider paying. But that's just my circumstance. But I think it wasn't, and Brian brought up a good issue, that it wasn't done the way we would like to see projects done.
If you had a chance to,
It's not done yet either.
But it is done, it is part of our drainage system. And there was an issue, and this might be a cheapest way to get out of it, to be honest.
had you given Brian any insight on Ms. Hubbard's situation?
I don't know if Brian wasn't here when that happened, but I'll be glad to talk to him sometime if you went to Brian. That led us into, that was much more complicated. And this is, whether this is an improvement or not, we will see in the future. But
This is not complete.
I
It's
was-
not complete.
I would suggest.
I'll be back
That's-
next week to give you my bill.
That's the question I asked.
That's what I'm saying, go down there and view it before you vote on it, because it is not complete. This project is what they said is complete, it's not even touched the problem.
Has this been
that
done or
remains.
has it not been?
What they have done is complete, go down there and look at it, so I'm saying, because it's gonna be more cost.
I think what people are talking about is across the street.
It's both sides there, what is left existing there needs to be addressed, it's hazardous. I want us to have a conversation, because it's right there on my property, and it's gonna cost the town or somebody some money to fix what's left there, because
I don't think the stuff on the other side is draining under the
it's
road.
both of them are there,
That
and
can be fixed.
Well, could
and
somebody,
it just needs to be, it needs to be looked at
could
before.
somebody bring back to this board at the next meeting, Brian the streets, Brian, could you go down there and in turn just get a complete assessment so we can know exactly what we're dealing with before
Well,
we
yes.
take any final action on this?
The part of what Lori and Joe are talking about, Northwood Marine, their project is done, and it's satisfactory. Now, whether it stops the flooding down there, I'm not sure I agree with that. But the part about the pipe maybe
Foundation.
rusting and the ground falling in, there's been a new pipe put through there. I think the job was done very nicely, and it was done a whole lot cheaper than some of the estimates that we had gotten done. What Brian Nestor was talking about is a pipe that goes under the road, which they have a place that the pipe can be connected into that catch basin. And I think that can be accomplished much cheaper than this, and we could probably get that done.
That is a town project itself.
That's a town project.
I don't want to come back to
Nothing
the beach now and say, I thought we,
Well,
But
but if
it's
you go back,
separate from-
but if you go back to Will's point, though, we had a situation a few years back that was very similar to this. Maybe not of the scope and size, but it was still related to storm water. And I think that there is a degree of responsibility that the town does have outside of Brian, which is a good question, I agree, setting precedents. But I think you have to look at what is the situation here. If this pipe is in turn collecting water from a town road, and it's in turn damaging that property or the property, I think you've answered the question. Now, what I'd like to go forward though is, what more is to come? That's what I'd
it's
like
starting
to
to
know.
damage my property on my side now, that's why I want to stay out of this right now.
I mean, I think I think. you
What
need to
Brian is
vote on
talking
that.
about is nothing more than putting a new pipe under the road and connecting it into the catch basin that.
Right, the only way for it to drain now is over top the road from my side to that side.
I'd like to
It
have
doesn't
an
work, it
opportunity
doesn't
to
work.
look at it and see if it's something they
It's got to
can.
go to the road and drain.
But you're
Stopped
saying,
up.
no, it has nothing to do with this.
No, it has.
So there's no
No,
They're
reason why we
really
couldn't
two
go
separate
forward on this
projects,
one.
although they connect with one another, but they're two
Right.
separate projects.
All right, well, I think, that, again, we've encountered property owners that have had pipes that run across their property as a result of production from town roads. And we've had that.
I mean, I can understand their frustration, I can understand them wanting to get this done. And I have been down there when we've had a couple of storms, but it's not been the opportune time to talk to the property owner. It's been at night. I've looked at the situation and, I mean, there's still water.
Well, laying on my side of the road this morning at
But I think it is fair to give the property owners warning that the next time they cannot go ahead and just do a project and then build a town. Right.
Well, if you were to say that,
They need to
well,
contact
if you were going to
us
say that,
and wait for us. But
they in turn had they were, if you recall, we voted and refunded them to put in the apron leading into their driveway. So,
After we dug it up 16 times with a water leak, and it looks like a
And-
octopus under there, as many places as in that water meter.
And I agree, and here we are again, what these folks have been subject to, you know, their
Isabel.
property, well, their property in turn, you know, being potentially compromised by aged town infrastructure. And I think I know that's what we're looking at. And I know from, working with another citizen about a few years ago, you have to pay for it. But you know, as well as I do, that is something we have to pay for. Now, we had quotes, I guess I would have hoped to see this maybe usher along a little sooner, so we didn't have to in turn get to this point. And I don't see where we can't not pay the fee. So we have a motion on the floor, do we have a second? We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, and one abstention. 3, 1, and 1.
Only because I haven't had time to look at the project.
Never good.
I mean, I do own that as property owners. I feel the frustration with this project, but at the same time, I'm not ready to pay the bill without looking at the project.
We've had engineering stuff to us years ago. Moving on, Head Start, heating system.
I had emailed you all and told you that there was a possibility that we could get some heating equipment. I contacted Head Start. They said that they had a Head Start facility that was closing down in Chrisfield. They had 4 units that they would be glad to give us. They brought them up to Salisbury. We went down and picked them up. We've got them at the shop right now. You're probably looking at those units, probably if you had to buy them new. I've gotten some estimates that they might be worth $15,000. And it could cost us 10 to 15 to have them installed. You have to run a new electric wire down under the parking lot. If you're interested in trying to use these, heating elements, then I do think that we would get our money back by, it would save us that much oil if we could just take that wing off of our boiler and we didn't have to heat that. But we could put an RFP out or put it out to bid to find somebody to install these 4 units if you want to try it, or if you've got better ideas.
I'd like to give a quote to what it costs to put the units in, and I think that's something we need to address sooner than later, because I think the units that are down there are aged, and it could pose a risk to the children, which is A. B, Congressman Harris's office has been receptive to putting forth educated dollars that, as it applies to Head Start. Stephanie has sent to them a lease agreement that is between the town and Head Start, but as we know right now, the Congressman's wife recently passed unexpectedly, so I was at the funeral the other day, but I'm going to give that a little rest. So I think let's in turn get a quote, Ronnie, to put those heaters in, and in a short period, as the Congressman gets to
And
this
you can
period of
do
warning,
what
then
you
we
want.
can talk to him there. So the next meeting, maybe we can have a quote to put those in.
If it costs us 15,000, and I don't know this, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but if it costs us 15,000, one of the biggest issues, you've got to run electric down there, and it's got to be, probably go under the parking lot to get down there where we're gonna hook this up at. Because we don't have enough electric down
I
there.
think, Ronnie, we have to put in another meter also.
Yeah, we do, it's gonna be a separate,
And that's about-
separate drop.
Yeah, that there by itself is about 5,000.
All right, that's why I'm saying this could cost $15,000 to install these heaters. But the heaters themselves, I mean, are probably worth, if we went to buy them, they're worth $15,000. So we're off to a pretty good start. Now, I'll put out a RFP, I guess, to have somebody, companies bid on the installation of these 4 units, and we'll take it from there. But I do think if we're able to eliminate that one wing, I would go out on a limb, and I'll bet you that we'd save the price of installation on oil this year and keep trying to keep this building, because there's so many leaks down that way that I think it would certainly be worthwhile investment. But I'll put out an RFP to have somebody install it, and we'll see where we go from there.
All right, everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Reed Love?
Mhm.
All right, I have a letter from Mr. Zimmerman, Robert Willis, Mayor Brock Hall, dear Mayor Willis, this letter is to inform you of my request to resign from the Rockwell Planning and Zoning Board effective this date. This was August 21st, he submitted this. I wish to thank you for the opportunity to serve as an outstanding group of men and women in charting the course of Rockwell, Maryland. So we will have a seat that is open on the planning commission.
Sorry to hear Mr. Zimmerman resign. I think he's definitely been an asset to the board, and we will miss him.
He's a good fellow.
Very good fellow.
Is there any other discussion?
What do we do with that then?
Fine. Fine, man.
Do we go ahead and move somebody from the Court of Appeals over, or we
Yeah,
got to use them, or you just point or sign and
I'm gonna
Just
make,
pick somebody.
I'm gonna make an appointment to you guys at the next meeting. So,
Don't you make an announcement and try to find people who might be interested in doing it? Or do you just go randomly pick somebody?
you'll see, hopefully like,
Media.
we'll see this in the news. Yep, and we can certainly put this up on the website, and then we'll take it from there. All right? No, we're not gonna adjourn just quite yet. I did see an ethics board, and we did, at one point, I brought this up, back in the first of the year. This board was, it was suggested that it be amended, the language of the code of ethics, the ethics policy in the town charter. It was not acted on. I allowed more time to go by. So on the 23rd of August, I in turn swore in Terry Mulligan, Warren Zimmerman, and David Robinson to the ethics board. And if anybody cares to see the resumes, they're in that packet right there. But we do now have a ethics board here now.
Bottom line is, if the ethics boards make a decision, where do they go, big boy?
Where do they go?
Yeah, who they answer
Who they answer to? They answer to nobody, that's why you have nothing.
to? Okay, well, if they have grounds to go, where they go?
Where do they go from that board? There, look.
You wondered, when you gotta know where they go, where they go? They got a problem, where they go?
Where's the policy for this?
There is no policy.
What you're gonna see, what you're
You ought to
gonna,
go ahead and look at it, before you point, you ought to
Yeah.
say, you ought to look into it, because I already did.
I think there's gonna be decisions in there where you
You
can
know
go.
so much. I'm proud of you.
We have nothing.
Motion to adjourn.
Wait, there hasn't been any comment
have
from the
enough
audience.
for
This
it,
is
I
a
will
workshop
say that.
meeting.
Give us more. For you.
Yeah, I have, first of all, comment that's actually related to the discussion that was held before the meeting, that actually now ties in very nicely to this ethics board announcement. I just wanted to make this comment. You can not respond if you want. But my impression is, my opinion is that making accusations without facts is a violation of common sense, and you're also violating protocols. Makes sense to me that you first ask the town for an explanation before you escalate any problem. And as a taxpayer of this town, I can say that I personally don't need artificial scandals. You are obligated not to stir up trouble unless it's actually warranted. So I certainly hope that this ethics board does not get tasked with doing things that aren't necessary.
Cost the town a lot of money, Mona.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
that's my first comment.
Big boy don't know that, though.
And on a more positive note, I want to commend the town for having the town website meeting last week. The audience obviously found it very informative. We look forward to your decision. Also commend the efforts of Brian in forming a focus group. I think this is going to be very important because, first of all, in the beginning stages, you can convene the group and have some really good brainstorming sessions and think big about what you really want for this website. And then in the later phases, when an actual design is put in place and there's a prototype, you may be able to draw in more volunteers who can then look at the website and home.